Greetings, I'm John Phillips, and this is Up or Down. The Donald is trumping his competition at the polls. Sesame Street goes where it's never gone before, plus sending your loved one's ashes to infinity and beyond. It's kind of like linens and things, infinity and beyond. All of this and more will be judged up with a thumbs up or a thumbs down by our panel. They are stand-up comic and PJTV contributor Stephen Cruiser. And right next to him is the host of Courtroom 790, can be heard from 10 to noon weekdays on Talk Radio 790 KABC in Los Angeles. The very fair-minded civil rights defense attorney, Mr. Leo Terrell. As you can see, both of them have their thumbs ready, so let's get started. Our first topic involves the race to the White House. Republican presidential hopeful Donald Trump continues to dominate the polls. In a recent poll by Suffolk University in public policy polling, say that fast, a majority of voters believe that Trump is the most electable Republican and has the best chance at winning the general election. He got 22% of that vote, followed by Jeb Bush with 16%. However, Trump did trail neurosurgeon Ben Carson when it came to support from female voters. Meanwhile, the first Fox News national poll since the GOP debate shows the Donald still on top. That poll finds Trump with 25% of the vote, followed by Ben Carson with 12%, and Texas Senator Ted Cruz wins the bronze with 10%. So up or down, do you think Trump is the most electable Republican with the best chance of winning the general election? Leo Terrell.
Yes. Now, let me tell you right now, very clearly, people do not understand there's a disconnect between the inside the Beltway, Washington media critics, and the everyday people outside the Beltway. Donald Trump is resonating with everyone, Republicans, independents. My opinion of him has changed. I like him. He's entertaining. Now, he may not be the most qualified person right now, but he's gaining momentum, and notwithstanding all these so-called alleged mistakes, it doesn't hurt his poll rating. He's in great shape, and he's electable. And I'll go one step further. He can win the general election.
What are your callers saying when they call in?
Saying they like him. They like Donald Trump. Most of the callers, there's a few who are against him because of those comments, but I'm telling you, by large numbers, they like Donald Trump. And these are the people who are outside of Washington.
Stephen Cruiser.
I hate the word electable, so I'm going to say no. I despise it when it's brought up in elections. I don't like it because to me it's always an establishment thing. They're trying to sell you on something. So I don't like the word electable. I think he's got a decent shot right now. I think the problem is like Leo says, a lot of people like him. Leo likes him. Leo's not going to vote for him, but he likes him.
He might.
I might.
My money on it right now would say no, but I'm going. But you might. But that's the thing. I think he's got as good a shot as anybody right now. I still think that if Hillary Clinton survives all of this, the overwhelming, we want our first female president thing is going to win out and she's going to get elected.
I think the momentum is unbelievable with Trump. He is sucking so much air out. No other Republican candidate can get any face time. And he's a ratings booster. For all these cable companies, They have him on every day. You know why? The numbers go up.
Sure.
He's just like a ball player, like a Yasiel Puig when he first came out. You stop, you want to see him. When Donald Trump is on, I want to stop and listen to him.
Even if it's Hannity.
Number.
You're right.
The number that's most important about Trump is not the polling numbers from any of the most recent polls. It's the 24 million people that tuned in to watch the debate. That number goes beyond political junkies.
That's
people
true.
who aren't interested in politics tuned in, and they tuned in for Donald Trump.
Excellent point.
We asked our fans on Facebook and Twitter who they want to win the GOP nomination, and here's what we found in our poll. 24% of you would vote for Donald Trump. 9% say they would vote for Dr. Ben Carson. 3% would vote for Jeb Bush, and 64% would vote for someone else. Looks like someone else won that poll. Thank you all for participating. Now on to topic number 2. Sesame Street is on the move. The popular children's program is headed to HBO this fall. The next 5 seasons of the show will premiere on HBO. Those videos will be available for 9 months on all HBO platforms before airing on PBS. Sesame Street is called PBS Home for the past 45 years. The new deal will allow Sesame Street to produce 35 new episodes per season. The show will be shortened from 1 hour to 30 minutes each. So thumbs up or thumbs down on Sesame Street sharing time with Bill Maher. Leo Terrell.
Thumbs way up. Follow the money. Follow the money, because let me tell you right now, they had no choice. PBS is a political hot potato. HBO, Time Warner, money. And it's all about funding. So I'm glad they went over to HBO because their integrity of the program is not going to be compromised. They were going to be defunded. So thumbs up.
So I forget where it was, but I just read an article recently that said B is for broke. That's why they're going over to HBO. So it's good for they're adapting. You know, you hear these stories all the time about the publicly funded stuff, even if it's partially publicly funded, that it's going to wither and die if the public funding goes away. No, there are ways to adapt. There are ways to go over. There are ways to find funding. Sesame Street has always been such a hugely popular franchise. It wasn't like anybody was going to let it die. So it's not going to die. It's going to go somewhere where it can continue, albeit in a restructured format. And to tell you the truth, for kids programming right now, for targeting children that age, making it a shorter show will make it a better show for them, because kids aren't watching hour-long shows anymore or 90-minute long shows anymore. They want quick hit. 30 minutes is pushing it for the attention span of a young kid now.
Is
It's a good program.
Is it HBO or Showtime that has Taxi Cab Confessions?
I think it's HBO.
It was HBO.
But see, you're trying to link.
What a great lead-in.
You're trying to link the tardiness of HBO and those shows like Bill Maher and Taxi Cab. Sesame Street stands on its own, and it's a good quality program.
Listen, I think Sesame Street should have moved from PBS a long time ago. If you look at the money that's associated with that, the merchandising, the lunch pails they sell, the T-shirts, the movies, the coloring books, everything associated with that. Wasn't the Elmo doll the top-selling doll
God, you
for
couldn't
years
get
and
one.
years
You
and
couldn't
years?
get one at Christmas.
Right.
Tickle Me Elmo. You couldn't get the Tickle Me Elmo. So it was a fetish Elmo doll. It was you couldn't get that one of those for like 2 Christmases in a row.
And now that gay marriage is legal, the Bert and Ernie plastic statues to put on the cake, I heard those are just selling like hotcakes. So they belong in
especially in
commercial television.
Colorado, since they approved the gay marriage cases.
There you go. This brings us to our Facebook question of the day. We asked our viewers if they support Sesame Street's move to HBO or if it was a bad decision. Here's what some of you had to say. Jeff McNair tweeted, "Does any show on HBO really need taxpayer support?" Terry tweeted us saying, it was a bad move. Most people can't afford HBO. Many kids do still watch it. Robert Zaleski on Facebook said, "They just get shown first on HBO, then they come to PBS. Poor kids get it all free." Wanda Page on Facebook said, "Moving from a public station available to anyone with a television to a station that requires a person to subscribe and pay big bucks to receive the show originally for poor children to get some learning before going to school. Very poor choice by Sesame Street's owners. I see a massive decline in ratings and the demise of the program." Wow, that's Chicken Little. Thank you all for sending your comments in, and be sure to look out for our next question. Now on to topic number 3. Would you send your loved one's ashes to outer space? Well, a San Francisco company wants to blast your loved one's ashes to the moon. I know some people that would like to blast their live relatives to the moon. Elysium Space says the service costs around $10,000. The ashes are placed into a personalized capsule, placed on board the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket, and then delivered to the moon. The Griffin lander will then place the ashes on the moon's surface. The company gets permission from the FAA to make this happen. The company already offers a shooting star memorial option, which sends ashes into orbit before returning to Earth as a bright streak across the sky. So up or down on shooting your loved ones into space? Leo Terrell.
Not for me, but if somebody has $10,000 and want to do it, fine. I got no problem with it. It's free enterprise, private company, let them do it, but it's not for me.
People do the weirdest things with ashes. I have, like Leo said, I have nothing against that, but I'm not buying this for a minute. I mean, I'm going to open up a storefront tomorrow and go, hey, yeah, I'm sending their ashes to Saturn right now. Yeah, sure, they're going to the moon. Yeah, we got it in the thing. Yeah, how are you going to verify that the ashes are on the capsule, that they got put on the moon? This is just scam. Sucker born every minute. The old P.T. Barnum
Well, look
effect
at some
kicking
people
in.
may need a lawyer, and I happen to be available.
Yes,
Because if there's a scam, I'll be able to sue. So more money for me. Good for the lawyers.
I don't know why so many people spend so much time worrying about what happens to their ashes after they are dead and they've been cremated.
Oh, come on. What about Ted
Well,
Williams? Ted Williams is frozen right now.
Yeah, he's
There it
next
is.
to
That's
the
what I
pudding
want. I want to
pop.
be frozen next to Ted. But here's the thing. Let's say, like my dad, when he passed away earlier this year, it was like he always wanted to be cremated, and at the end he was feeling a little different. He started to have, but he was not completely coherent. We weren't sure. Then he changed his mind. So when it happened, my sister and I are like, oh, we don't know what the old boy wanted now. We're so like confused. We're like splitting it up. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. And it got really weird. You start to think, okay, this is the last thing we're gonna do. And so I see how people might want to do something symbolic or different, because when it happened, I thought it was a done deal that we'd never have to worry about. And then when it actually became an issue, we were like, oh, we don't know what to do. We didn't make a decision right away. We sat on it for a while.
Our pal Rob Marinko, who works at KABC,
Yes.
said that he was cleaning out his garage one day, and he took a box down that on a ladder or around a ladder, and he opened up the box, and in the box were 3 different urns. One was mom, one was dad, one was grandma.
Wow.
Oh, God. That's the thing I would not want to do is keep them.
I don't want to keep them.
I know. If I ever wanted to be cremated, I would want to be scattered. Either throw me over the Pacific, take me out. Put me in little urns. Take all my friends go to happy hour, and everybody pick a place they want to
What do you
toss
know?
me.
What do you care? When I'm dead, dump me in the storm drain for all I care.
Well, that's what I'm going to do, John.
We'll see. We'll see if
That'll end up in the
John's
ocean
case
eventually.
when he's on his deathbed. You may have a different opinion.
I'll be dead. I'll have no opinion.
We'll see.
Anyway, moving on to our final topic. There's a new way to get drunk without drinking. You get drunk off of alcohol vapor. Depending on how much alcohol is in the vapor and how much vapor is in the air determines how drunk you'll actually get. 1 hour in the mist is the equivalent of 1 drink. The bar, which is called Alcoholic Architecture, recently opened in London. People have been lining up to inhale the boozy mist. The mixture contains gin, water, and aromatics. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Creators of the bar say the best part is you don't get a hangover from walking into the alcoholic cloud. So up or down, would you get drunk from vapor, Leo Terrell?
No, because I need more medical evidence. You have the effects of drunk, but you don't have the hangover. That seems like a disconnect. I need more medical evidence. Thumbs way down. Don't get it.
Leave it to the Brits to make drinking more boring. But people who drink like all of the accoutrement. They like the process. That's why there are 15 different kinds of beer glasses and all these different kinds of bourbon glasses and all these different kinds of wine glasses.
That is absolutely not true because I had the unfortunate pleasure of being drunk one day in front of Mr. Phillips. I was embarrassed, did not like it.
True.
So I disagree. Not every aspect of being drunk is
I'm talking about the process of drinking. I'm not just talking about getting drunk. I mean, people who like to drink, they like this kind of glass, that kind of setting, this kind of that's all part of the thing. It's like, no, I'm just going to stumble into the cloud and no, that's nobody. I can get a buzz off of cocaine mist too, but I'm not gonna. It's not as much fun as going out and having a nice IPA and being snooty.
This might be the healthier way to get drunk. This might be the healthier way. Just inhale and not the.
I'm going to go in and who else knows what I'm inhaling in there? I mean, God,
you save on calories too. You lose weight this way, don't you? There's some health benefits here.
So here's what happened.
You were thumbs down on this, remember?
Oh, yeah,
You gotta tell the story.
You're right. Now he's rallying for it.
We go to a 7-course dinner at the lovely Ruth's Chris
This
Steakhouse.
is on TV though. Wait, this is a private story. I'm not giving you
I've
permission.
heard part of this story.
Here's what happened to poor Leo. Okay, so we're getting all of this amazing food, and they have cocktail pairings at the beginning, and then wine pairings with the later courses, including like a port wine with your dessert. And every time poor Leo would turn his head, they would take his glass away and put one that was completely filled with the best tasting wine you've ever had before in your life.
And it was delicious.
And so this poor man was getting drunk, had no clue.
Didn't know.
He thought he was on glass of wine number 2.
The one night I've ever had.
And my head went right to
the only time I've
that's
ever.
what happened. I was embarrassed.
The only time I've ever seen Leo drink, he had one glass of wine and you started to fall asleep at the table anyway and you left early. The party last year.
No.
You had one glass of wine and you were like, I'm tired.
Don't
and you
tell
left
that
early.
story, but no. I was thoroughly, the head went straight down. Embarrassing.
Good wine. All right, that's going to do it for today. Leave your comments in the comment section below, and don't forget to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/PJTV. I'm John Phillips for Stephen Cruiser and Leo Terrell. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great weekend.